to hit record. Like this.
Okay,
this is our first podcast. We don't even know what the fuck to call it. That's a great way to start.
This is our first podcast. My name's Josh. This is David.
I'm David Kelly. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
I thought we weren't going to give last names, but that's all right.
I'm David Roan.
It's like Alcoholics Anonymous here.
This
is our first podcast to go along with our YouTube channel where we have a lot of our films.
I disagree. I think it's to go along with a late night moonwalk. I think it's great for a sauna. I think it's great for a snappy piece of construction paper.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
You're like a poet, and you didn't know it.
Some have said I'm the poet of no generation. Which I still don't know how to take that.
We're going to be going all over the place today, honestly, just kind of bouncing off each other. But as an excuse to have the podcast, our theme today is talking about no budget filmmaking.
Plus, we also like the sound of our own voices.
Oh, it's like smooth bourbon.
I can't shut the fuck up. Also, I think it's a medical condition.
And despite what you might hear, we actually like each other quite a bit. That being said, we've been making movies for 10 years between the two of us. I think the most we ever spent on one movie was $50.
Well, you still owe me $5.08 for the eye patches.
I thought you were going to keep the box and return it.
No, I wore it. I sweated on it. I mean, it didn't just cover up my eyes.
I honestly don't know what the return policy is on eye patches.
It didn't cover up my blue eyes. It covered up my brown eye.
Did it make your brown eyes blue?
No, but it kept the poop in.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, interesting story about poop, Josh. If you sit on hot rocks when you need to poop, the poop will slide out. The poop will get heated by the hot rocks, and the poop will slide out. It happened at U of H to me once.
That's University of Houston, folks. Finest university inside Houston, except for the other two.
No, it's the University of all Houston, not some rice paddy in the village. And if you went to Rice, well, you're probably not listening to this because you can't afford a computer.
Yeah, pretty much. So, just, David, why don't you tell us a good story from one of our filming experiences?
Wait a second. I thought we weren't supposed to talk about that.
Well, you know what? I think if we keep it vague enough, I think the lawyers said we could do that.
Josh, we're wearing masks so that no one would know who we were. Wait, what films are we talking about?
No, our legitimate films.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it started off with me with Hambone for Sheriff. I wanted Hambone for Government, but I was voted down.
When I was editing it, I just wrote Sheriff. And that's the extent of the voting down.
The first example. Okay.
Play on your phone, David. That's fine.
No, I'm texting my wife. I'm sorry. I love my wife, Josh. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for loving my wife. You son of a bitch. And I never met your mother, so I apologize if that offended her in life.
I don't think it bothered her at all.
She's no longer with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for bring up the dead mom.
Okay, let's go back before your mother died. Or at least us talking about it. There's a scene in Hambone we were filming with lovely Rebecca, who was in San Diego at this point in her life.
Miss you, Rebecca.
Love you, Rebecca. At one point you leaned forward and said, I can kick his ass, talking about your opponent who we hadn't even fleshed out yet. And
real quick, just to fill in the gaps, the premise of the movie is it's a mockumentary about a redneck running for sheriff of Harris County. So,
what? No, hang on. First off, if you haven't seen the movie, well, go fuck yourself. It's available on this YouTube channel. So
absolutely.
Get off your lazy ass and do something worthwhile in your life.
As are all our films, except for Christian Camp Bloodbath.
Which apparently will never be seen.
Which we will discuss in a little bit, but...
Okay. I just lost it. Every time I heard him, every time he leaned forward to make that one utterance of, I can kick his ass, I just lost it. I mean, like a 10-year-old in Christmas and/or candy store. I just lost it and got the giggles. So I had to go around the corner, and I'm ADing, I'm assistant directing for Josh because he's in the scene, and there are people coming that are asking me if I'm okay because I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. In retrospect, it really wasn't that funny, but it was. But it's just the manner in which you did it.
I was trying to screw you up on purpose. In every scene we're in that movie, I'm trying to make you break character.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm a dick.
That didn't work, did it?
A couple times. I cut those parts out because I'm an amazing editor.
Yeah. Well, you were the boy. One of the two. Oh, I should probably explain. The other Gator boy is Steven, who is not with us right now. He is in spirit.
Where two are gathered, he is also.
I've always had a great expression, and I can use it again. it's rare to be able to use this expression because you need a group of 3 friends. If you fuck with me, you fuck with 3.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's Roman.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, my phone just went off.
Oh, see who's dicking around on their phone now?
Oh, it's Uber.
Ass munch. Oh, Josh is also a 6-star rated Uber driver when he has time.
I'm a world famous Uber driver.
Yes, they talk of him in Malaysia and South America, Buenos Aires.
I'm the Burt Reynolds of Uber, basically. I can do what they say can't be done.
That has long been said about you.
Yes, absolutely.
Before you were an Uber driver, you were the Burt Reynolds of driving.
Absolutely.
You know, I know Smoking the Bandit. I don't know a lot of Burt Reynolds. Like, I've never seen Gator. I've never seen, I've seen The Deliverance.
Yeah.
But I mean, and The Longest Yard. But why is he such a badass?
You know what? It's just good marketing, I think. I think it just,
And a great look at a rubber vest.
Yeah. Well, before he became famous, he was just like, he always got cast as like Native American characters.
Name one.
I never saw any of those movies.
Name 20.
There will be a list available in the description of the YouTube page for folks.
Of all the Native American roles that Burt Reynolds has nailed.
But David, from our making movies, and we've been doing it for a while, made all kinds of different kinds of movies.
Softcore, hardcore.
Absolutely.
Medium
fetish.
Core. Why isn't there medium core?
I don't even know what that would be.
Would it be mid-core?
In France, I don't remember where I heard this, but they were making pornography there, where it was feminine, it was pro-sex but pro-feminist as well, and they would not show money shots.
What's the point?
Well, that's why they don't make those anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a dead genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the zombie romantic comedy.
They made a movie. I saw it.
Shaun of the Dead is the best zombie romantic comedy.
Oh, no, I was talking about Warm Bodies.
Oh, yeah. And Burying the X, which we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Which you need to see that. That's pretty good. Rest in peace, guy from Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Anton.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I didn't want to fuck it up.
I can't say it either. But God rest him.
No, I really liked him. He's done a lot of good stuff.
You were saying?
What was I saying?
I have no idea.
I was talking about pornography.
Yeah,
some
it's
advice.
always get lost in
All right, so you could probably Googled like advice to make independent films, and now you're listening to 2 assholes talk about whatever. But we will actually give you some advice.
Okay, no. Use every scene use every location that you don't have to pay for. For example, in my house, there are easy 20 locations.
Yep.
In my neighborhood, there's additional 40, and I don't have to pay for any of it.
Even the same room can be multiple locations if you frame the shot cleverly enough.
Yeah, there is a conference room at the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and I don't know if can I say that.
You just did.
Can we say movie titles and actors?
I think we can get away with that.
Well, Archer is trademarked, so I guess I can't say Archer.
It's fair use.
Okay.
It's fair use.
But no, this is this conference room, and there are, just off the top of my head, about 8 different shots in that one room alone. I mean, yeah, it's a conference room, but you would never know that you're in the same room unless you know that room. Mm. So you make valuable use of any free location that you can. Parks.
Yeah. I was going to say parks.
Parks.
And
green spaces, if you're a millennial. I think that's
green space covers more areas than just parks.
What is a green space that's not a park?
Like the Arboretum, that's not a park.
That's a park.
It's not a park.
It's a park.
All right, fine.
So green spaces.
Other advice would be, ass.
Pin.
Whatever you're, you got friends who can do things. You got a friend who can play the guitar. You got a friend who juggles. Figure out a reason to get that guy in the movie.
Not only is it going to eat up time, but it's also a great way to promote.
Yeah. Like we have a friend, Patrick, who does, he's into medieval martial arts. And he does this, he invited me, but it's totally gay and I didn't want to go.
Gay like happy.
Yeah, and lame. It's also lame. He's got the wooden swords because they don't want to actually hurt each other. And like they do all these, he tried to tell me about it. But anyway, he's got these wooden swords, so we put a scene in Who the Hell is J.D. Scribbline, the original, where there's a couple of guys fake sword fighting in the park. Just whatever you got to work with, use it.
We also call that 2 dudes hitting on the same chick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's great filler. You kind of test your creativeness and being able to utilize that in your spine or the basic story that you're trying to tell. And it's a great way to promote them.
Oh, I was talking to this guy, and I won't mention his name because I'm going to kind of make fun of him a little bit. He's a nice guy. He reached out to me because he heard I was a filmmaker in town, right? And he's a screenwriter. and he wanted to get some advice from me. So I met with him, had coffee, and he's telling me about all these scripts, and his scripts are very specific. Like, it has to happen just like this scene, and then it has, and I told him, no.
Just stay at Barnes & Noble and keep working on your manuscript, dude.
Any idea you have for a movie has to work around what you have to work with.
And if you don't have a budget of more than $50, whatever you can get. How long did it take to make Hambone? 2 years?
2 years, but it got made.
Damn right it did.
I went to this mixer, Swamp. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but they support filmmakers in Houston here. And I went to the mixer, and I thought I'd be like just making low budget movies and no budget movies. Honestly, I thought I was going to be kind of the odd man out there.
Yeah.
But I was the belle of the ball because I'd actually finished making a movie. All these quote unquote filmmakers came up to me. He's like, "You finished a movie? How did you make it?" I'm like, "I got a camera and I didn't stop till it was done."
You got to keep working at it.
And by the end of it, I'm going to tell you right now, by the end of it, you're going to hate the fucking movie. Okay? Even if other people like it. You're finishing it out of spite. You're purely fueled by spite by the end of your filmmaking. But you got to get it done, and you're going to have to adapt to the situation. Like, Curious. One of our first movies was Curious.
Yeah,
it was
which is also available on this YouTube channel.
In all its lo-fi glory. That was made before we had HD. But it's still a good film. In that movie, it's about two serial killers, and they become friends, basically, a surrogate family. What happened was, one of the guys, the older guy, Rich, we filmed a bunch of stuff with him, but then we needed to go back and film more with him, but he wasn't available anymore. He couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so we re-edited it and rewrote the script to make it more about the other guy.
That's not the only time that's happened.
No, not at all.
I mean, there was... okay, look, I'm sorry. I'm always going to call it We Were Once Ourselves. Because
Living in the Future, which is an award-winning short film, also on this YouTube channel.
And Josh does like to be referred to as an award-winning film director.
Especially on dates.
Well, or walking into any room. Oh, hi, Josh. Excuse me, who? Hi, award-winning filmmaker Josh. What's going on? Okay, good. We got it out of the way. Let's move on.
You just got to plug yourself, guys.
But that movie had to be completely redone. Like the cast, half the cast just changed. So it worked out that it strengthened and enhanced the story.
Well, tell them what the premise of the story is.
Okay, it's a time travel movie with a time cube played by myself.
Excellent voice work.
Oh, stop! Don't.
You're the Chuck Jones of our generation.
I would go with I'm the William Howard Taft of our generation.
You got stuck in the bathtub?
That never happened.
Yeah, I know, it's apocryphal.
No, I just broke away from the party politics, and my best friend was neither here nor there. It'll be another podcast.
We'll talk about Teddy Roosevelt on another, and Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
Yeah, on our ultra libertarian podcast.
Why would we? Well, wait, no, we're going to talk about Woodrow Wilson on our super hate-mongering racist podcast.
And he's a bad guy because he has an alliterative name. I don't trust anyone with an alliterative name.
I don't trust alliteration.
No,
it's lazy writing. It can be clever at times. Those times I don't know, though. Anyway, we were once ourselves, in spite of ourselves, living in the future. Living in the future. A couple has a chance to go back in time and change mistakes from their past. So they do. And in the course of events, their lives dramatically change, are dramatically altered. Obviously, the best role is played by me, the Time Cube.
Of course, Dave.
I do some of my best work. And to the people, hopefully, that have seen it, I filmed that naked because I wanted to be in the role.
He was 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, I was hammered.
Yeah,
I was shit-faced.
Yeah.
Got naked, went outside in the backyard, Josh filmed me, and just kind of curled up in a ball, but tried to make it a cube-like ball just so I could get into character. I don't know if it transferred well. It felt right, but, being naked on grass always feels right to me.
Be that as it may, what happened was, it's a couple that's time traveling, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we filmed half of it with this one actress named Adrian, who was great, but...
Due to commitments.
That's what's going to happen when you're making independent films. People's work schedules are going to change. People are going to move away. Anyway, with Adrian, we couldn't come back and shoot the rest of it. So we decided, I didn't want to, but we decided to shoot the whole thing again with a different actress, Helen Rios, who is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
love working with Helen.
They're both amazing actresses or actors. politically correct.
I say actors.
Yeah, I do.
I don't say hostess. I say host. You're a host.
I say steward.
I don't. I say stew.
Yeah. Well, you're just very Roosevelt about it.
Am I?
Yeah, that's nice.
Can it be because I had polio?
Yeah.
I didn't have polio.
But be that as it may, what we had was, when we got into the editing, we had Adrian's scenes, which were very good, especially the comedic scenes.
She's got a way of delivery I really appreciate.
She has really good timing. And then we had the scenes with Helen, and her scenes with the actor, Steven, who's not here. He's out riding fences, I believe.
I think he's making fences make better neighbors.
Hopefully he'll be in a future podcast with us.
That'd be fun.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. But anyway, his romantic scenes with Helen they have great romantic chemistry. Not to knock anything with Adrian. She was great too. But it's just like the sex appeal, you know? So it's
Josh, I know.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it in editing and I'm like, I don't want to throw anything away. I want to keep all of my favorite parts.
Right.
So I have a couple drinks. Maybe I smoke something. You don't know.
A cigarette? Josh, you quit smoking cigarettes.
We vape now.
Yeah, we don't vape like some hipsters vape with their Bruno Mars hats. We vape because we quit smoking cigarettes. So it's a lifestyle choice that we both made to live longer.
Exactly. Never smoke, but if you smoke, vape. But if you don't do either, don't ever vape.
Just smoke weed.
Just smoke, or edibles. You know?
Yeah, edibles are solid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, it's like, you know they come with warnings. Like, if it is a first-time use, ingest one and wait like 3 hours. Because if you've never done it before, it's not like a joint. You know, you smoke it, you're high.
Yeah.
Like edibles, it hits you a couple hours later. So there is a warning on edibles that say ingest one and wait a few hours. Because, I ate an edible and 30 minutes later, what? I don't feel anything. I'm going to eat 6 more. And you know what? Then you'll overdose. Oh, wait, you can't overdose on weed. Legalize it. Sorry, Josh. Keep going.
But though that's a very legitimate public health warning, folks,
Yeah.
and that's what we're really here for.
And the kids.
Yeah, and think of the children and the midgets. Oh no,
Don't think of the midgets. They're
little,
not thinking
little
about
people.
you.
Little people.
I think they prefer dwarfs.
Long story short, on Living in the Future.
Too late.
Since it's a movie about time travel, we just decided every time they change the past, he has a new girlfriend, and it actually made the movie a better movie.
It was it was a solid thought. It was a solid plan. But that unfortunate incident of losing your female lead and then having to recast your female lead just made the movie. I mean, it made it clever. It made it smart.
In the screenplay or script, or outline as we use, we don't use screenplays.
No, we script. Look, that's another thing. Don't fall in love with having to write a script. It's better when you just get the parties involved and let them do their thing. You have a general idea of what the scene is going to comprise, then let them do their thing. Take a couple of takes. Figure out what works. If something starts to develop, let it develop. Let it develop organically, as Josh loves to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making comedy. You don't want to micromanage your actors.
No, you want to let them riff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helen is great at riffing. I had no idea. We were filming Hambone, and I didn't know what she was going to say from one take to the next.
I don't think we ever had to do more than 2 takes with Helen.
Damn right.
In anything we've ever done with
her. I know, because we're awesome.
Well, she's awesome. But we were awesome for getting her.
My level of awesomeness was only raised by Helen's appearance.
Oh yeah, it's totally. They use it in sports as an analogy all the time. Like a great player will elevate the rest of the team.
Helen is that great player.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't fall in love with the script. Just don't. I mean, that's going to come as you get a little bit more mature into your filmmaking. You're going to want things a little bit tighter, and that's fine. But don't think you need to come in right out of the gate. You're not going to make what's the greatest movie of our generation? Titanic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Avatar.
Oh, you know what?
Top Gun.
Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
You're not going out and making Teen Wolf 2, guys. Just...
You're not that auteur.
No.
And by the way, the auteur theory, where like one guy's in charge of everything, fuck that theory. The only guy who ever pulled it off was Stanley Kubrick, and he was nuts.
He was nuts. Watch The Shining, and then watch the documentary on the hidden meanings of The Shining.
Yeah.
Or was it Shining?
You can't use Stanley Kubrick as the...
end-all, be-all of what it is.
He is the exception. He's not the rule.
No. Get yourself somebody you trust. Get yourself a couple people you trust. And those are going to be what's called your ADs, or assistant directors, which is what I like to call myself. That's why I use the title.
And it's not hard to find decent actors, even in a medium-sized city. I mean, if you reach out to the local theater scene, there's also usually Facebook pages for local actors.
Hell, use people you work with.
Absolutely. Keep your eyes open. But you got to be careful. You want to make sure they're comfortable on camera.
And naked.
Which brings me to, dun dun dun, Christian Camp Bloodbath.
We're going to talk about that.
Well, you know, we've had a couple glasses of wine. And
that was dead air, and that's not good for anyone. Radio, podcast, pod space, pods. Yeah, we've had a couple cocktails. That's fine. Don't see what that has to do with anything. You know, I never got friends. This is just a stupid show.
They're sociopaths. They're just awful people.
They are. I mean, Seinfeld, yeah, they're awful people.
But they own that they're awful people.
Friends is just stupid.
No, I hate Friends. I don't even want it on the background muted.
No,
because I don't want to give it the ratings, even though it's not on TV anymore.
Oh, and it's okay because there's 2 hours of Friends episodes. My God, what is wrong with America?
So, Christian Camp Bloodbath was our first movie that we made. David wasn't with us at that time.
I mean, I was alive.
He was alive.
Yeah.
But this was the first movie that our company had tried to make, and I did use just people I knew, and I tried to pick people that were in person very extroverted and comfortable in their own skin. Right?
Yeah.
But what happens with some people, when you point a camera at them and say action, they just clam up. So we had 2 kinds of acting in Christian Camp Bloodbath. And it was like a horror comedy thing. And I had 2 kinds of acting. Let's say the line was, let's get to the car.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to the car?
That's one version. Or another actor might do it.
Let's get to the car.
Or let's get to the car.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was 19th century British royalty.
We either had ham or we had mumble.
Let's get to the car!
Absolutely. And it's a nightmare. So you got to be careful of that. But once you find some good people, stick with them. Try a smaller project first with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's good advice.
If you're making an hour and a half movie, 2 hour movie coming out of the gate, you're probably doing something wrong. But with free talent comes free gratuitous encouragement. Because I cannot stress this enough. Even if it's bad, you tell them it's good.
Yeah.
You direct them down, you direct them up, you kind of point in the direction of what you want to do. But even if they suck, they're sucking for free. And if they're sucking for free, that means they're there as opposed to not being able to fill the role at all.
Exactly. You got to appreciate it. It's interesting thing about filmmakers, and I am going to be a little pretentious.
Oh, now?
Please call me. Oh, yeah.
Now?
For the first time ever.
Now. Okay.
First time ever.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, first time in history, Josh is going to be slightly pretentious.
Filmmaking is weird because it takes 2 sets of skills that don't normally go together. You got to have a creative side, right?
You have to come on demand.
You have to be artistic. You have to come on demand, of course, maybe 3 times in a day. But you have to be creative. But on the other side, you have to be a good manager.
Yeah. These are your people.
And most good managers aren't creative, and most creative people aren't good managers.
It's the rare breed that combine the two.
Yeah, so you're going to have to, if you're weak in one area, you're going to have to be, I'm assuming if you're listening to this podcast, you're already creative. So you're going to have to work on your management skills.
Shit, at this point, I assume they're asleep.
I would hope so. People just listen to this when their babies are crying just to put them to sleep.
Or drown out the baby noise.
And we're glad to help out.
Oh, also, it's good if there's no fan in the bathroom. Put the song in the background. You won't be able to hear your whoever's in the bathroom pooping.
Yeah, a little white noise helps everything, honestly. But
white noise? I think they prefer Caucasian.
Yeah, that was a little racist, and I apologize to all of our African-American listeners.
You didn't insult them. You insulted the white listeners, which I'm assuming that's all we have.
I'm assuming it's just going to be like our friends listening to this, but yes.
And probably us.
Yeah, we're going to listen to it several times. And also, please sit through the commercials on YouTube so we get paid for this. We'd appreciate that.
We don't get paid. We don't do this shit anymore, which is, I don't know, could actually bite us in the ass.
I think we do this for free.
I would do this for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, I am doing this for free.
We are.
Son of a bitch.
It was your idea, though.
Yeah, it was a great idea. Quite possibly the greatest idea in the history of mankind ever.
So you got any other good stories from our... Tell us another war story.
Okay. We were filming the web series for Scribbline, and
which will be coming out soon.
I'm not going to point any fingers, but someone had the great idea to film outdoor scenes in the middle of fucking summer in fucking Houston.
That is my fault, and I will like you know why.
I'm pointing fingers, man. I'm just using pronouns.
When someone says I'm not pointing fingers, they're pointing fingers.
I'm not pointing fingers. I'm using pronouns. I'm looking directly at you and sometimes over my glasses, but...
It's hot as hell, and just so you know, folks, today we just finished shooting an exterior shot for the series, and it's hotter than balls.
Just don't wear fake beards and or black turtlenecks when it's 105 degrees outside.
Or sports jackets. Yeah, in Houston, just go ahead and film in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
there's 5 days of winter during the entire winter season. Just film in the winter.
Try to knock it out in those 5 days. But yeah. I guess what we're saying here is... Oh, I got a good story for you.
What do you got?
I almost got arrested once making a movie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Was it Disco Kroger?
No, it was not at Disco Kroger. That's a local reference, folks. That's the Kroger in the Montrose area.
Apparently, they name Krogers here.
The one on Old Spanish Trail, Slow Jam Kroger.
You know what they call it, Pearline Kroger?
No.
Pearline Kroger.
That's lame.
Oh, no, the Kroger with fucking rude people. That's also what they call it.
Oh.
Yeah, well, they do, because they're all fucking rude.
That's rude. It's rude to call them rude.
Why?
We're in a time loop.
Why are we on a time loop?
Like, you know.
No, I don't. What do you mean?
I'm so...
They can't see your gestures.
Oh, yeah. I just moved my hands around like I was like... I don't want to talk about my hands. They're little and... Like Donald Trump.
Not like Trump hands.
No. Oh, I'm not a dick like Trump. I'm a dick in a whole different way.
Let's not politicize this.
You're right.
I mean, there might be a Trump supporter at some point in history that listens to this and gets offended. I assume there's one.
Absolutely. Independent filmmakers heavily support the conservative parties.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's free thought. Why would they?
Well, maybe Sam Peckinpah. He was pretty.
Well, yeah. Oh, and John Milius.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, John Milius. That son of a bitch.
He's crazy motherfucker. So I almost got arrested shooting the original Scribbleline film. So we needed a scene where...
You guys can't see, but my dog is totally cuting out.
Yeah, the dog is bored. That's not good.
Well, she does that thing every now and then. She reaches up and she uses her paws to like kind of scratch her nose. And I hate using the word cute, but it's kind of cute.
Dan has a hard-on for his dog, is what he said.
I love my dog, Emily Blue Chili Cheese Dog. How do you not love a dog with that name, for God's sakes?
I didn't know that was her full name.
Yeah, well, sometimes I refer to her as it, just to respect its privacy. But yeah,
understand.
Emily Blue Chili Cheese Dog.
Nice.
You were saying.
We needed an exterior shot from a hotel or a motel. And we were driving around.
Wait, Holiday Inn?
It could have been, but we needed just a general
hotel.
hotel.
Motel, Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's that a reference to?
It's the song. Sugar Hill Gang.
I don't know Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know who they are. I've heard the name.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Oh.
Say what?
Singing more, we got to pay him.
Wait, what?
That's enough.
Oh.
Yes.
No, that's got to be in the public record.
It
came out like 79.
Dude, but like Mickey Mouse is still like copyrighted.
Trademark Mickey Mouse by Disney Incorporated.
Absolutely. We respect copyright laws here.
Yeah. It's Sugar Hill Gang, man.
You know, it used to be like copyright lasts like 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, that made sense. That's fair.
Are they forever now?
De facto.
Well, Disney kind of owns, everything. So, yeah, I don't want to screw with Disney either.
No, you don't mess with the mouse. That's why I learned growing up in Florida.
Don't mess with the mouse?
Don't mess with the mouse. So me and my Steven, actually, he's going to be a recurring character in these stories. We were driving around trying to find a motel that we could use. And we were driving down Main Street near NRG Stadium.
That's used to be Reliant. That's where the Houston Texans play.
By the Astrodome. By the Astrodome.
Also, the Houston Rodeo.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But people who don't live in Houston, Astrodome, they'll understand that.
What about people in Macau?
Where's Macau?
I don't know.
Did you just make that up?
No, man, it's a city.
Okay.
I think it's Southeast Asia.
Oh, see, I haven't been. Is it nice?
But they have these things called maps, Josh. Read a book. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you're filming your exterior.
Well, we're looking for our scene. Mm-hmm. And we found a motel that looked abandoned. And it didn't even have a name. The sign just said motel.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? On Main Street?
Yeah.
Okay. And we drive around into the parking lot. And it looks like it's abandoned. There's no lights. There's no cars. It looks like, oh, perfect. We found an abandoned motel.
Holiday Inn.
It'll be perfect. So the next day we go and shoot our scene. And all we need is an establishing shot of my character, who's a detective.
Rapper's Delight. Sorry.
Absolutely. Walking up to a door. That's it. That's all we needed. So we shoot that and we're ready to go. We're going to go home. And then the manager, this little Indian fella, he comes out. He says, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Is that how he said it, Josh?
Yes.
Ah ha ha!
What do you? I didn't do an accent.
I almost caught in a racist trap.
I didn't do an
I
accent.
know you didn't. You wanted to, though.
I don't do accents. Evidently, the place wasn't
want me to do an
abandoned. It was. It's just a shitty hotel.
I'll do an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
You want to do Indian?
Do it. Go ahead.
Okay. All of our Indian listeners and viewers and fans.
South Asian listeners, just to cover Pakistan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. What are you doing? You cannot be here with the filming and the camera, and you must get off it. It's $45 an hour. You pay.
Well, that was good. Were you there?
No, but I can do accents because I'm an actor.
Well, he was pissed.
Dick.
He thought we were like doing like a cheater show. You know?
Oh, that would have been sweet.
Because it's one of those places like I go into the lobby to argue with him. I go in the lobby to argue with him, and he wants us to delete the footage. And on that disc we've been like busting our asses. Filming stuff, we cannot delete it. We've been working on this movie for a year.
Yeah,
and he wants us to delete it. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Was he a small guy?
A little guy, yeah.
Just beat his ass.
Yeah. But while we're arguing, another guy comes in to rent a room, and he goes, "Do you pay by the hour?"
Yeah, of course they pay by the hour. Of course they pay by the hour. Is there any other version? Oh, by the 2 hour, maybe. I guess.
So he's got his hand on the phone. He's going to call the cops.
Jesus.
So he makes me sign something saying that I won't use that footage, right?
Yeah.
And I sign it. And then,
fuck that.
I have a bunch of comp passes to the museum. So I kept throwing them at him until he shut up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You pimped the Houston Museum of Natural Science to avoid jail time.
Well, I had the comp passes anyway.
It sounds ethics to me.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Nothing now.
So we're doing pretty good here. I hope our podcast has helped you.
I hope it hasn't hurt you. Let's see, what have we gone over? Locations. Casting.
Planning.
Pliability of planning.
Yeah.
Sorry for the alliteration.
Yeah.
Well, it really wasn't because it was 3.
Yeah.
True alliteration's 3.
Yeah, at least.
God, I hate alliteration. It's just lazy writing.
That's why I can't watch MMA. They all have alliterative names.
MMA?
You know, like Ronda Rousey and then the other one.
That's lazy alliteration.
Yeah.
As alliteration is lazy writing, lazy alliteration is worse.
It's lame.
It's lame. So, location, casting, pliability, planning. Don't worry about a script. Don't worry about a script until you get into a few films. Just worry about getting everybody together at the same time so that you can film. What else?
And the final thing I think would be a good way to end this is there are so many people in creative field. That's not just filmmaking, writers, artists who describe themselves. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I'm a painter. I'm a filmmaker. Who have not made shit. Go out and make something.
Make something.
Get it in the fucking can. And
5 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't fucking matter.
Just get it done and put it out there. Just through the repetition and the practice, you will get better.
You have an idea, make that idea happen.
Absolutely. We're not all making Citizen Kane. Some of us are just making soap operas.
And shit, best of luck. Yeah. Look forward to the next podcast.
Again, I'm Josh.
I'm David.
Thanks for listening.
Don't do drugs.